You are listening to Viewpoints from PlaceCloud. Cultural researchers tell stories of places from around the world. For the full multimedia experience and to support the creators you enjoy, visit placecloud.io.
We're standing here in what was once the village of Turnham Green, now a part of Greater London. The battle took place here in November 1642, in the first few months of the English Civil War, and would go some way to shaping this conflict. In the winter of 1641, a virtual state of war had existed in England between King Charles I and Parliament over various sticking points on religion, taxes, the King's own personality, and Parliament's belief in its necessary role for the governance of the kingdom. After years of deteriorating relations, in 1642 both sides had raised armies, and the first indecisive clashes took place as brother fought against brother and father fought against son. In October, the King's army had left Shrewsbury to try and get ahead of the Parliamentarians. This army under the Earl of Essex was forced into battle at Edgehill in Warwickshire at the end of October. Though the outcome was inconclusive, the Royalists were able to continue their march, and on the 12th of November they surprised and defeated two of Essex's regiments at Brentford. The Parliamentarians concentrated all their available forces on Turnham Green to block any further advance to the city. Essex's army was reinforced by regiments of the London militia, the trained bands as they were called, as well as a newer army under the Earl of Warwick and many volunteers from the city itself. He had perhaps 24,000 men, with a royal army about half that size, making it the largest battle in British history up until that point. While Essex was happy to block the Royalists further, the Royalists were too weak to risk a frontal assault, and because of the conditions of the terrain, were unable to outflank them. Fighting was limited largely to a few skirmishes and an exchange of artillery fire. One account also describes troops of Royalist horse riding towards the Parliamentarian soldiers, possibly feinting to try and test their resolution, draw them out into a charge that would break their ranks. Essex's objective of holding the Royalist advance was much easier because of his proximity to London. Londoners willingly sent many cartloads of food and drink to supply the army, but the Royalists were pretty much in hostile area and short of ammunition and supplies. As a result, the Royalists felt pressured for time, and though Turnham Green ended up being a stalemate, it was the Parliamentarians who could afford this kind of engagement. The King and the Royalist army retreated to Hounslow Heath. Essex had achieved his objective and didn't need to risk his troops by pursuing them further. There were perhaps as many as 20 men killed on both sides, but the actual effects of the victory for Parliament were much more significant than the scale of fighting itself. Although the Civil War continued until 1646, the Royalists never again approached London, which had firmly displayed its loyalty to the Parliamentarian cause. The Battle of Turnham Green therefore proved decisive in the war, ending Royalist hope of capturing the city, and probably preventing them from winning the war at all.